Hello, friends. This is Jillian Boland and my girlfriend, Bonnie Kelly here. We are Rebels for Joy, just like you. And Bonnie and I are here to really help you uncover your purpose, passion, and power, all fueled by joy. That's what this life that we get to live gets to be created by and embodied of purpose, passion, and power. And Bonnie, we've got some big news here that we're going to dive into today.
Yes, you guys. So this kickstarts a 3-part video series where we are really now diving into the 9 major joy thieves. We're imperfect, right? So you're going to see us be imperfect and flawed even on these videos because we don't want to be polished. We don't want to be perfect. We want to show you the real and raw and relevant versions of ourselves. And so, yeah, we get to dive into these. We get to talk about how these different perceptions and beliefs are really holding you back in your life right now and what you could do instead. And then in addition to that, we're going to invite you to something epic.
Yeah, we're really, really excited. We have this incredible program. It's going to be 6 weeks long. It's called Awaken Joy.
Yeah.
Some of you who are watching just participated in our 5-day challenge, and it was, Bonnie, it was unbelievable. The breakthroughs that these women were having, the deep understanding of the 9 thieves that rob us for joy, and that it is our choice and it is our right to reclaim that joy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the challenge was so potent, and we're just so excited because this is the stuff that really we get to sink into. There are 9 joy thieves, as Bonnie was saying. And so within this 6-week Awaken Joy Masterclass, as we're calling it, we're going there. We're not just going to talk about what the thieves are, but we're going to help you really figure out how they're popping up in your life and help you to move through them so that you can live a more joyful, fulfilled life. And we're just so honored because this is a big deal. And this was saved for us in this.
Yeah, totally. And I think that to your point here, Jillian, is that those joy thieves, really, they surprise us. Like most of the time, we're not even consciously aware that they're sucking the joy right out of our life, right? Yeah. So we always keep using the analogy like sucking the joy out, like sucking the air out, because it really does feel like that. You feel like you're suffocating. You feel that you're stagnant. You feel that you're stuck. Yeah. And so if there's any part of your life that you feel that, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your personal self, right, that you're most likely have one of these 9 joy thieves that are just knocking the wind right out of you. Yeah. And so this is where we're going to talk about this. And the other thing, she just left a big nugget here. I love it. She said this was saved for us.
It was. Okay. It's like, oh, this part makes me cry. Like, go ahead. I'm just so excited.
I love it. So Rebels for Joy, like, as you guys know, is something that just, divinely got kicked into me a few years ago. And I've been dabbling in it for years. If you've been following me, and it's just really been the last 6 months that Jillian and I have come together and are making this movement, national, international, really, and really helping people reclaim that joy. Well, when I decided to go file the trademark and the business and, all of these things, a lot of times filing for trademarks can be very challenging because there's a lot of people with similar ideas to you do. And so finding an idea that hasn't been touched on is rare, if not, almost non-existent, right?
Yeah.
And so when I filed for the Rebels for Joy, they came back with an international search and found nothing. There was no blog articles. Yeah. There was no web posting. There was no emails. There was nothing that they could search the internet that connected with Rebels for Joy. And this is where both of us immediately recognized that the universe saved this for us. Yeah. Saved this for you. Yeah. Saved this for now. And it is just such an honor, and we're so excited to just make this movement relevant in its season, in this country, in this nation, where joy is needed so desperately to bring us joy back to all of our lives.
It just really blows my mind. Like 7.5 billion people in this world, and this concept, this deep-seated movement that we're kickstarting here and presenting to you as the very first, right? As the very first ambassador and member of this. nobody else thought about this. Nobody else felt into this. It's so poignant. It's so incredible. And that's why we are just beyond excited to finally have an opportunity to invite you into on a deeper level, to give you the opportunity to invest in yourself and to gain the value and the knowledge and the centeredness that will come by way of being a part of Rebels for Joy, and a part specifically with this mini training here of the 6-week masterclass that we've got coming up.
Yes. So with that, we want to actually talk about two different things. Like the first one that we wanted to talk about was how our approach to this is going to be very differently. So we decided to come together and recognize that there's the 4 pillars or 4 foundational pieces that are required for real transformation. And this is what we're calling MEPS coaching, right? M-E-P or MEPS coaching, right? M-E-P-S, MEPS coaching, right? And it really is the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. We're tying in all 4 of these elements that if you really think about building a house, these are the 4 anchors, the 4 corners, the 4 pillars that we could build everything else on.
Yeah.
Like your perceptions, your values, your belief, all of these things are unique. And so these are the custom features you're putting inside your house.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we've got these 4 anchors that it's like, we really need to make sure that we're mentally and emotionally out of our way, in alignment with whatever the fixtures we want. Yeah. We need to make sure that physically we are in a state of health and healthy behaviors, and spiritually in whatever form or shape that takes for you.
Yeah.
That we have that spiritual connection and that we have that spiritual clarity within ourselves as well.
Yeah.
What do you want to add to that, Jillian?
I just think it's so important, and people look at their lives within certain silos, and they think that, oh, well, I can only focus on this over here. And Bonnie, you are just a ninja when it comes to the mindset and the emotional piece, right? And so that's where we start. Like that's the beginning. Those are like, if we're going to build the house, those are the first 2 corners, right? Like literally you cannot create a square without starting in one corner first. And so we start there, but in order to really get into it, and in order to really uncover joy on the deep, deep, deep level that you're ready for, and that we have the answers and the guidance to bring you to, we need to get through all 4 of those corners. So we do have to learn what the thoughts we're thinking actually are, so that we can start to retrain and bring new feelings, new emotions to us, because our emotions are based off our thoughts. But then also, how does that feel in our body? And then what are we doing within our physical body to support the way we're thinking and the way we're feeling, or not? And then spiritually, how are we connecting? How are we like throwing our hands up and saying, okay, there are things bigger than me out there. There is source bigger than me out there, that if I simply learn how to trust myself and surrender, I'll be guided on a deeper, more prolific level than I could have ever figured out in my physical form. And I just think it's really important that we say right out, we've got you. We've got you in all areas. And it's just so exciting to know that you can generate joy from every single one of those places. And the necessity is that we're generating joy in every single one of those places.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So good. And I love this, because that physical element, that physical is the behaviors, right? So if your behavior are out of alignment with your desires, your dreams, or what you wish to see,
we have a little bit.
And how are those thoughts and feelings deeply connected?
We had a little bit of a glitch there, a little bit of a technical difficulty there.
What I was saying is that the feeling, or the physical, how are your behaviors? And if they're out of alignment with our mental and emotional, then, if we're still holding on to past pains, we're holding on to our shame, our guilt, if we're self-deprecating, like all of those are mental and emotional states that will affect your physical body and your physical behaviors, which then also makes you very disconnected spiritually. Very disconnected spiritually. And so if you're having a hard time if you're having a hard time connecting, if you're with people or God or whatever that is, it's probably because your MEP is off, right? Like we need to MEPS it up.
And it's such a beautiful nugget because you mentioned the word behaviors there, Bonnie. And so I'd love for this to transition us into the other piece that we were going to present to our amazing woman who is watching right now. Because this is going to be the essence of what we're going to teach in the 6-week Awaken Joy masterclass. So do you want to take the sandwich away?
Yes. Yeah. So what she just totally did a pun that nobody gets but us. You'll get it now. You'll get it now. So what we decided is like, okay, let's get to it. Right. So if we want more joy in our life, what robs us from joy? And so we started coming up with these 9 major joy thieves. Right. And we're like, okay, these are the most common thieves that are robbing you from your joy right now in your life. And so I jokingly was like, gosh, these are all perceptions and beliefs. I said, if we only had a J, then we'd have a PB&J sandwich. And sure enough, we're like, oh my gosh, J is jelly and jelly is sweet. So that would be joy. If you want more joy, then we have to shift the sticky peanut butter, which is our perceptions and beliefs. Yeah. So we say that it's like PB&J. If you want more joy, PB&J. It's like, where are your perceptions? Where are your beliefs? Because they're connected to joy.
Yeah.
And so if the sandwich that you're eating is sour, then we need to change it up. So we have to shift up our perceptions and our beliefs to have more joy, PB&J. And that's where we've thought of this amazing acronym to help you really anchor in it. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. And that's what we're going to do in the next 2 videos is we're going to focus on the perceptions. So 5 perceptions and 4 behaviors is what we're going to do in the next 2 videos that make up the PB. And because you guys know what the joy is, right? We all know the jelly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that you know what joy feels like. And if you don't, you need to be reminded and we'll help you do that.
Yeah, no, it's going to be so powerful. And just to clarify, so Bonnie said perceptions and beliefs. And then what we talked about, but what we talked about is because perceptions and beliefs actually go together. So when we were
perceptions and behaviors.
Do you remember we did that though? We were constructing our PB&J sandwich and we were like, all right, but there's behaviors in that too. So we were like, oh, okay, well, duh. So perceptions and beliefs are in one category and behaviors are in another because there are things that we do or that we allow to happen to us that elicit a specific behavior. So we've got your PB&J and you're never, ever, ever going to make a PB&J and not think of this ever again because at the end of it is joy. And that's what we get to spread on top of everything to really bring us back to that state of wholeness, that state of centeredness. That's because what is a PB&J without some joyful jelly, right?
Yes. So stay tuned. The next video is going to be coming out. So watch your email. It's going to be video number 2 where we dive into the perceptions. Video number 3 is where we dive into the behaviors. And these are going to make up the 9 joy thieves. And then from there, if you already know, if you're just like, no, I really want to join the 6-week challenge, then you could go ahead and check it out. We put the links in the email, so it makes it very easy for you to go to. Click the link anywhere that you found this on social media, wherever it was. The link is in the comment, the link is in the header, the link is in our page, whatever it is. So you can find it easily. And if you can't get in for some reason, just email us. You can reply to the email. It's pretty easy. But we're here to support you every step of the way. So we look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thanks for tuning in.
Bye, you guys.